Opinionnaire, what do you believe? Opinionnaires require students to respond to a set of strongly worded declarative sentences, usually related to reading. Statements do not allow for a neutral response. They can require the student to agree or disagree or ask for varying degrees of opinion. The teacher can decide if they want the students to write an explanation below each statement. Opinionnaire should consist of 10 or less statements. This will give students enough time to consider each one and respond. There are no right or wrong answers. The teacher should consider if they want the opinionnaire to be anonymous. This might make the students feel more comfortable and elicit more authentic responses. Strategy use. Opinionnaires can be used in many different ways across content areas and grade levels. To engage students in the topic of informational text, the teacher can use statements that require factual knowledge or opinions on current issues. For example, in science, prior to reading an article on pollution, the teacher could give students an opinionnaire that gauges their concerns for environmental issues. In English, a teacher could use an opinionnaire before reading Macbeth. The teacher would use statements that question topics of power, greed, and morality. How to create your own opinionnaire. First, you should familiarize yourself with the text. That way you can choose appropriate statements. Then decide how many statements you want to include. Try to keep it under 10 so that you allow enough time for your students to consider each statement. Then decide if you want to use a dichotomous choice or the Likert scale. Choose if you want the students to explain their opinions further by providing a written response underneath each statement. Then plan time for discussion. You're using an opinionnaire to elicit responses from your students. You should use their valuable opinions to start a valuable discussion in the class, whether it be whole group, small group, or one-on-one. Then, of course, plan time to read the text. You may want to consider having your students do the opinionnaire again after they read. That way, they can see if their opinions have changed at all. This is an example of an opinionnaire that I would use with elementary students. This is an opinionnaire for science, specifically on the topic of pollution. As you can see, the sentences are pretty simple, and I'm only asking for an agree or disagree response, and I've only listed 5 statements to keep it pretty simple for them. For younger students, you may want to post this on the board for the whole group to see. You could read the sentences out loud. You could consider using a digital response app so the students can send you their response digitally. This brings in the element of technology, and it's really fun for the students as well. This is an example of an opinionnaire that I would use with middle school students. The sentences are a little more challenging, and now I'm asking them to provide a response that has varying degrees. Strongly agree, agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. I still have chosen to only use 5 statements, but you can decide if you want to use more or less depending on your time, depending on the concept. It really is indicative of what you need the opinionnaire for and how you think your students are going to respond. Next is an example of a high school opinionnaire. As you can see, the sentences are more complex, and I'm asking them to consider more mature themes and concepts. I've chosen 8 statements now, and I am asking for a varying degree of opinion and requiring a written explanation. I've only provided 1 line for the explanation, so the students must be brief when they are writing their explanation, but I am still requiring them to articulate their perspective and kind of dive further into their way of thinking with each statement. Opinionnaires for all. Teachers can use opinionnaires in many different ways, grade levels, content areas. You can use it as a pre-reading activity to pique students' interest in what you're getting ready to talk about. You could use it during reading to see if their perspectives are shifting. And then you could use it as a post-reading activity to see if they feel the same at the end of the text as they did at the beginning. Teachers can tailor opinionnaires any way they want that helps them with a specific content or grade level. You can make it as simple as you like. You could even just choose one statement to have your students respond to if you're working with younger students. And you can go all the way to 10 statements with high schoolers with really complex themes and ideas for them to consider. The great thing about opinionnaires is you can get insight into your students that you might not have received otherwise. You might not have understood what your students' beliefs were about a specific topic had you not used the opinionnaire. So it really does give you a window into their mind, their viewpoint on the world, on certain important matters, or current events. Opinionnaires are fun for students and teachers, and it provides a great platform and catalyst for open discussion and setting the stage for students to feel comfortable expressing their thoughts and expressing their beliefs in the classroom. So I hope that you will use opinionnaires in your classroom and that you enjoy them as much as I have.